Very happy to see everyone. Morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever we are on the planet. Let's for 30 minutes, just for 30 little minutes, focus our minds on certain points. So let's go over the main points. In this sort of packaging of Buddha's teachings called the Lamrim. This stages of the path. So meaning the various teachings of the Buddha, the teachings that from his experience that are expressions, that are presentations of reality. This is the point. He's not asking us to believe him, but we have to take it as a given that these points, the view of karma, for example, is not something, there's no idea in Buddhism where Buddha makes something up. It's not like that. His whole point is whatever is that Buddha says is how it is. It's not because it's from revelation on high or some speculation. He has found this from his own direct experience. Of course, he's not asking us just to blindly believe him. The point is we're taking on board the idea, taking it as a hypothesis, I'd like to say, and then each time you think about it, there's 3 stages. You listen, you contemplate, and then you internalize it at a subtler level. When we've got, shamatha, especially when we've got concentration. And then eventually we will discover it is true ourselves, or he's wrong. In which case, as the Dalai Lama says, we'll say, thank you very much, Buddha, but goodbye. So it's an experiential thing. When you listen to 1 + 1 at school, you don't blindly believe it. You memorize it, then you prove it. This is the approach. So this is part of that approach. But also because everything we think and do and say leaves an imprint in the mind, we're by going over these points of the path in this 30 minutes, we're leaving the imprints of the entire path in our mind. This is marvelous. And then it makes it easier to understand it next time we hear it. This is how you learn something, isn't it? You keep thinking it and doing it until eventually it becomes real. So just get the body right, get the body in a comfy position. Remember, your body doesn't meditate, your mind does. But having the body in a conducive position, based on the experience of all the great yogis over the centuries, is helpful. So your body upright. If you're not sitting cross-legged, if you're sitting cross-legged, you've got to keep yourself upright, otherwise you'll topple over. But if you're in a chair, you make yourself upright by not slumping into the chair. It's important. Sit upright. Have your muscles relaxed. Bones upright, muscles relaxed. Head slightly tilted forward. Chin tucked in a bit. And your eyes looking down, as if you're looking along your nose towards the ground. And all the yogis have found that if you have the tip of the tongue behind the top teeth, you don't dribble, especially when you're doing meditation for a long time. Very practical, all of it. So settle into this position and then forget about your body. So in front of us, we visualize the Buddha in the form, like the monk, like behind me, the statue. Sitting in full lotus position, his right leg on top of the left, in his robes with his right arm bare. His body is like golden. Everything's made of light, very radiant. His saffron robes. And his face, very beautiful, very peaceful. He's the manifestation of the first stages of practice, the completely subdued body, speech, and mind. He's showing us what to become. And if we have a spiritual teacher, a mentor, a lama, a guru, you think it's their mind manifesting as the Buddha. They're the same. Think like that. He's sitting in the sky in front. And he's on a lotus, but also he's on a throne. They talk about the teacher is on a throne. It was one of these, the other Buddhas, they're on just a lotus. And his throne is like a square structure with these snow lions holding it up, if you can see in pictures and statues and things. All right, so now for these few minutes, let's think of each of these points, try and internalize. So the very first one, according to Lama Tsongkhapa, the preliminary practice is we need to find a teacher. because that's the person who's going to lead us on the way. I mean, clearly, the key reason, one of the key reasons you're going to be successful as a musician or a mathematician is the good teachers. It's obvious. Otherwise, you lead up garden paths, aren't you? So be delighted to think of, be delighted if we have found, or if we wish to find. The necessity for a good teacher is kind of fundamental for anything to learn, especially here. This is uncharted territory. So once we have found, knowing how to appropriately have that relationship, we need to learn that. So we make the most of it. So then the next preliminary practice to prime our minds to even want to enter into the path is just to sort of contemplate, to notice these extraordinary qualities we've got in this human rebirth of ours. I mean, we utterly take it for granted. We think, oh, well, I didn't ask to get born. I just got plonked on this planet. We just don't even think about it. We're part of the sort of 0.001% of the universe, not rich, but fortunate. First, you've got a human body. It's like a miracle. And that's due to our past virtue, past goodness, past non-killing, living in vows, very consciously practicing virtue. That's the cause of just getting a human body. But not only that, reasonable conditions, a place to live, money and enough to live. All of this gives us the leisure, the miracle of it all of it because of our morality and our generosity. We've got access to the Dharma, access to a spiritual path. Even the wish to practice is pretty incredible. Even think of it, the wish even to become a better person. This is pretty rare on this planet. The wish to practice virtue, to practice ethics, to not harm others, to become a better person. That's pretty unusual with respect to human beings. And then having access to methods. All of this together is pretty amazing. So what's the conclusion? Don't waste it. Don't waste it. It's like you got, it's a crass example, but it's so clear. If you have money, you don't want to waste it. Not even $1. If you got 99 cents worth for your dollar, you'd be disappointed. That kind of clarity about the value of this precious life. Do not waste it. So what's it mean, don't waste it? Well, what you did to get it, practicing virtue, practicing morality, living in vows, wasting it is doing anything less than that. So think, I must use this human body that I created, these conditions that I created, not some accident, to at least do more of the same. Continue to practice good virtue, control my body, speech, mind, so I can become a happier, wiser person. For your sake, you're the recipient. You're the recipient of the benefit. Don't underestimate that. Not waste this precious life, these conditions. So now into the path, the method of how to do it. So we go to junior school, the first scope, the methods to do that, to get more of the same, at least when I die, to get another decent human birth with access to Dharma. Well, I just do more of the same. So now I increase my wish not to waste this precious life now. And I think about impermanence. I will die, don't know when. So don't waste time. This increases our wish not to waste. Get a sense of urgency. I mustn't waste this precious life. It will end at any moment. Do not know when. That's to increase our wish not to waste it, that's all. Energize us. I don't want suffering. That's clear. It'll even further increase our wish not to waste it. I do not want future suffering. I want least more of the same of this. So whom can I turn to? to give me the methods. Well, here we turn to the Buddha. He's our doctor. He's our mentor. We use the methods that he used to become who he is. So here, minimum, we now then abide by the laws of karma. Live in vows. Best. Being good is not enough, as Rinpoche says. Vows are stupendous. They're like a subtle physical energy that's visible to clairvoyance. With the vow not to kill, you need bucket loads of non-killing karmic seeds in your mind before you die. So in order to get another human birth. Well, the only time you create the virtue of not killing without a vow is when you think of it. You see the ant and you think, I must not kill. But having vows not to kill in your mind stream is powerful energy. Every second of the day, you're keeping them. You're ticking over virtuous karma. And you're purifying your tendency to kill. It's just being good is not enough. Living in vows is the most powerful, easy way to practice good ethics, to accumulate masses of virtuous karmic seeds in our bank vaults. Abide by the laws of karma, because every second of what I think and do and say programs me. So be delighted. Yes, we've got delusions. All day our crazy thoughts never stop. But the power of vows is tremendous. The power of vows overrides this. The power of vows is so strong. We should be so delighted to have vows in our mind stream. The virtuous karmic seeds every second from living in vows gets us ahead of the game. So if I die, then I'd at least get more of the same, a decent human rebirth with good conditions and the wish to continue my path. Bare minimum is this from the first scope of practice. Already incredible. But I can do more. I can go to high school, next scope, the middle scope of practice. Now, having subdued my body and speech to some degree, I can now begin to subdue my mind. This is where you become a Buddhist, actually. So now we become our own therapist. We learn about the mind. We learn about this very specific model of the mind, according to the Buddha. And the key job is learning to distinguish between the delusions and the virtues. That's it. Of course, it takes time. Our minds are overrun. Most of us are over. Our minds, the default mode is attachment and fears and dramas. But at least we don't go around killing and stealing and lying. They're the major ones. We're controlling that. That's incredible. So we learn about the mind. We understand what a delusion is, what a virtue is. And then every day we learn to practice, be our own therapist. Distinguishing the delusions from the virtues. And the key practice, because we can't stop them yet, the crazy thoughts. The powerful practice is to not believe in their stories. You say, okay, look, that's just anger. I'm angry with my sister. Look at me, how ridiculous. Look at that anger. She is this and she is that. And you say to yourself, I have got anger, it's a habit, but I don't believe it. You got attachment. You see the cake, you just want to stuff the cake in the mouth. It looks divine, you believe it's divine. You believe it's divine in its nature. But you say to yourself, it's just a habit. It's just habit, ancient habit. The cake does not exist like that. So let the thoughts come and go, but don't believe them. That's the powerful practice. Especially attachment. Learn about this. This is the essence of the middle scope. Learning about the mind, subduing the mind, getting rid of attachment, seeing the suffering of attachment, which is so subtle. This is renunciation. So the consequences of this level of practice, controlling our body, speech, and mind, is that you're the beneficiary. You become more subdued, more joyful, less neurotic, more stable, more kind, more wise. How amazing. These are the methods for you to get more happy. That's it. It's very simple. But we can do more. We can make others happy as well. So we go to the compassion wing. And now our focus. Same thing, control body, speech, and mind. But now it's for the benefit of others. The first one is for the benefit of yourself. Don't underestimate that. Now we continue to work on our minds, but with the idea to remove the delusions from our minds so we can be of benefit to others now, because we're all in the same boat. So we develop love and compassion, which culminates in bodhicitta. But we start with equanimity, the foundation. Equanimity, when we've got it, is the heartfelt recognition that friend, enemy, and stranger are the same from one point of view. Exactly the same from the point of view that they each want to be happy and each don't want suffering. Now, we learned that in the wisdom wing. We learned that in junior school and high school. We know we want to be happy. We know we do not want to suffer. And we have found the methods. So now we look at others. They're the same as each other. So right in front is, even we're saying this, right in front, have the person who you don't like, who's mean to you, who's harmful to you. Have them right in front, the object of your aversion. That's the so-called enemy. And to the left, a beloved, a person you love, a person who is kind to you, the object of your attachment. And to the right, a stranger, a person whose face you know enough, but who has neither harmed you nor helped you. So look how they appear to us. Completely different, don't they? We're attracted to the person on the left. We can't stand the person in the middle. We couldn't care less about the person on the right. This is the universe. Attachment, aversion, and indifference. The whole world is like this. Monkeys, ants, dogs, humans all have friends, enemies, and strangers because we have the three poisons. These have no basis. These three definitions have no basis. They're just projections of our deluded mind. So the conclusion is they each want to be happy. They don't want suffering. This is the basis in the compassion wing. Then we start to develop love and compassion for all of them, not because they make me happy, which is ego's reason, because they want to be happy. They don't want to suffer. Practice all those 11 different techniques that culminate in bodhicitta, this unbelievably powerful kind of shift in the mind, where now only others fill our mind, the wish only to help them, like we're their mother. Every being in the universe is our child, and they're our responsibility. Of course, that's a long way off for most of us. It's like, seems so high, we can't believe it. But we can aspire. It's logical that we can accomplish it. Then we do, when they enter into the final stages of the bodhisattva path, we practice the 6 perfections. The first 4 The bodhisattva is going from life to life to life, perfecting the first four in relation to sentient beings, practicing generosity, morality, continuing to benefit. This time, the morality of benefiting others. Up until now, we've been practicing the morality of not harming others. Now, because we have wisdom, we can actually proactively benefit others in whatever way we can. Help the ant, help the mouse, the human. But generosity, the first one of the six. Giving. As Lama Zopa says, don't think of receiving, think of giving. We can see in our lives people who are miserable because they're always thinking of, who's going to help me? Who's going to give to me? Who's going to love me? They sit there lonely and sad. And this is a tragedy. It doesn't even occur to them that they should be thinking, what can I do to help others? What can I give to others? This is the difference. It's not easy to hear this. But if we're suffering from that one, lonely, depressed, feel we have nothing, feel that we are nothing, I'm no good, I'm not intelligent, I'm not good enough, I'm lonely, I'm worthless. We're overwhelmed by ourselves, and this is why we suffer so badly. People who suffer less, this is not being, it's really powerful to look at this. People who suffer less, even in worst circumstances, are because they think of others. It's too hard to hear. When we're very suffering, it's very hard to hear this. We kind of get annoyed. But what about me, we think, It's so powerful if we can think about it. As His Holiness said, if you want to help others, practice compassion. If you want to help yourself, practice compassion. This is powerful. And why? Because delusions, attachment, jealousy, fears, anxiety, worries, anger, resentment, it's not being unkind to us. We have to see this and be kind to ourselves. They are why we suffer. And then kindness, empathy, connection with others, they are why we're happy. It's a very simple point. Hard to see it. So we have to practice. It doesn't come overnight. Of course, if we're so much suffering and we're unable to bear, even think of others, well, then that's fine. Think of ourselves, do the wisdom wing, put ourselves together, control our own body, our own speech, our own mind, with the wish that we become more happy. Don't feel guilty about it. That's the wisdom wing. Then we're ready to do the compassion wing. So we have to know our capability. If we're kind of overwhelmed by our own crazy thoughts and we can't be around other people because it makes us too crazy, then do not be around other people. Don't force. Keep silent. Keep in your own place. It's like retreat mode. Leave people alone. We have to know where we're at. So the perfections, anyway, we practice generosity, morality, patience, and perseverance. Patience sounds like a dirty word to us. What is it? It's a powerful state of mind. Patience is the courage to welcome the problem. And why would you do that? Not because you're masochistic, because we have aversion for a problem, and aversion is anger. So anger is a response when attachment doesn't get what it wants. So every time you welcome the problem, you put an atomic bomb under anger and attachment. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get rid of the delusions. It's a powerful practice. But sometimes it's so automatic. We just, as soon as we see something, we find fault. We get angry. That's called anger. We mightn't shout, but it's anger. It's aversion. Find fault. As soon as you see something, you find fault. That's anger. So welcoming it, seeing it, catching yourself, and being glad to see it, that's patience. And you put atomic bombs under anger and attachment. You're not afraid of it. Also, patience, they talk about patience in the face of the obstacles to our practice. So we're really sincerely trying to practice. Lots of bad things happen. When being patient with them, meaning not just for us, we think patience is passive aggression. No, it's a brave mind that welcomes it. Then it won't seem so bad. And the next one is perseverance, which seems a bit similar, but it's even more profound. Perseverance is never giving up. Never giving up. One step at a time. You open your eyes and you see all the dramas in your daily life. You just keep moving. You just keep moving. One step at a time. Deal with each obstacle as it comes. You pick yourself up and you just keep moving. You pick yourself up and you just keep moving. It's a very powerful mind. And with perseverance, we will succeed. Without perseverance, you can be wise, you can be patient, you can be loving, but you won't succeed. You have to have perseverance. Make effort. Joyful effort, eventually they call it. You make effort. You deal with the obstacles as they come and you just keep moving. You just keep moving. Because we can succeed. It is logical. We all possess Buddha nature. And the last two perfections in our meditation, concentration and then wisdom. The wisdom that we use the concentration in the subtlety of our own mind to unpack and unravel the root delusion and get to realize there never has been, isn't, and never could be the ridiculous, concrete, fear-based, stubborn sense of self that we believe exists. It doesn't. We do exist, but not in the way we think. We do exist, but as a dependent arising. We don't exist as this fear-based, frantic, panic-stricken, set in stone, concrete me. That one doesn't exist. Believing in that one is the source of all the suffering. When we've cut that one, there is freedom. There's no fear. No fear. Fear is gone. The mind is courageous and brave and light and joyful and infinitely loving and compassionate. How marvelous. So imagine that Buddha, the throne dissolves up into his lotus and the lotus dissolves into his body. Just imagine. And he comes and sits above our head very happily. And he dissolves into golden light, enters our crown. And we think the body, speech, and mind of the Buddha, the body, speech, and mind of my Lama, the body, speech, and mind of mine, they all become one. Just be joyful, light, clear, peaceful. Chang Chub Sem Chog Rinpoche Ma Ke Panam Ke Gyurchig Ke Panyam Pa Me Pa Yang Gom Ne Gondu Baba Shog Ke Wadi Nudu Dag Lama Sange Drub Yone Drowa Chikyang Malupa Dei Sala Gapa Shog. That's it. 30 minutes gone like a dream. Look at Lou and his looks like his new red earphones. Look at them. Hilarious. Thank you, darling people. Thank you, Matt.